Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I'm fine. Kisumu is also fantastic. Maybe you could let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country. A few days ago, Raila Odinga issued 3 demands to William Samoei Arap Ruto. And Raila Odinga actually gave William Ruto 14 days to meet all those demands. Failure to which he was going to lead the nation in massive mass action. And based on what I'm observing, William Ruto is clearly cornered. And William Ruto is also trying to come up with a strategy of taming Raila Odinga. And just a few days ago, I opined on this platform that it is William Ruto who actually fired Raila Odinga from his role as the High Representative for Infrastructure at the African Union. And indeed, days later, Rigathi Gachagua confirmed that they did the same. And yesterday, Raila Odinga was in Kakamega, and he revealed or reminded Ruto that only 11 days were left. And today, I'm reading the newspapers that William Samoei Arap Ruto is actually planning to appeal to Western nations, basically the United States of America, the United Kingdom, and others who are friendly to Raila Odinga to impose sanctions on him. In this video, I want to explain to you guys why those calls by William Samoei Arap Ruto is not going to slow down Raila Odinga. Before we do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is now. I want to give you some good news. At least today we were discharged from the hospital. The young girl is now doing well, and we hope she's going to improve further. We got a scare, but who is God? God prevailed. Now, William Ruto is planning to tame Raila Odinga and is now appealing to the Western powers to impose sanctions against Raila Odinga. One of the things they want is that they want the Western powers to impose a ban, travel ban on Raila Odinga, so that Raila Odinga cannot travel outside the country. And another one is that they want them to impose economic sanctions, like freezing his assets, banning people close to him who are in business. And they want to do this. William Ruto is asking them to do this because of two things. Number one, Raila Odinga's call for mass action. William Ruto feels very strongly that the call for mass action is going to slow economic development. And the other reason why he's doing this is that he wants Raila Odinga to accept that he won validly, because Raila Odinga has actually rejected the outcome of the 2022 general election, which is giving William Ruto serious political headache. And for those who follow this channel, I've always opined that William Ruto is currently the president of the Republic of Kenya because of the powers of the United States of America and the British government. This British power, the British government and American government wanted Ruto as the president of the Republic of Kenya because of China. They really don't want anything to do with China. That's why the China Square, which is causing a storm in this country, has been closed. It's basically beyond Moses Kuria, beyond any other person. It's actually the US government and the British government who are keen on kicking China out of the country. But do you think these sanctions can actually work? And why do you think William Ruto is trying to ask the United States of America, the British government, and others to impose sanctions on Raila Odinga? They want to impose sanctions because I want us to look at two things. Why they want to impose sanctions, why Ruto wants the British government and American government to impose the sanction, and why those sanctions are going to fail. Number one, they want to try and contain or tame Raila Amolo Odinga politically. William Ruto is keen on taming Raila Amolo Odinga. Remember, Moi Kibaki was a very wise man. He realized that it was going to be difficult for him to work with Raila Odinga as an opposition leader. So what he did, he agreed to share power after stealing Raila Odinga's victory. And when he was leaving office, he also advised Uhuru Kenyatta that the best thing for him to do if he wanted to rule peacefully was to have Raila Odinga on his side. And that's why Uhuru had a handshake with Raila Odinga. But William Ruto opposed that handshake. So you can't expect William Ruto today to agree to work with Raila Odinga together. But he wants to contain Raila Amolo Odinga. He can't contain him himself. He only believes that these sanctions will help in taming him. Number two, William Ruto is also keen on eroding the respect Raila Odinga has internationally. That's why he's asking them to impose some of these bans, because he knows he was their project. And Raila Odinga has an image. Raila Odinga is actually a brand, a man who is highly regarded outside the Republic of Kenya. So William Ruto is keen on eroding that brand by associating Raila Odinga with mass action, associating him with every other bad thing. So that's why he wants these guys to actually deal with Raila Odinga. Number three, William Ruto is also keen on branding Raila Odinga as a rebel, keen on overthrowing a legally elected president. You know, if there's one thing the Western Kenya, especially the American government and the United Kingdom would not want anybody to talk about, is whether the elections of 2022 was free and fair, because they influenced it. They want Raila Odinga to accept it. In fact, I was telling someone that I don't think that the United Kingdom and even the US would want a situation where news are emerging that those elections were rigged because they participated in them. So William Ruto understands this, so he wants to brand Raila Odinga as a rebel who is trying to overthrow. And you just know Western powers with their idea about overthrowing government. And lastly, William Ruto is also keen on trying to limit Raila Odinga's international trips and international connections. Because remember, and some of you guys don't pay very close attention to what I say here. The other day, I told you guys that the reason why Ruto kicked Raila out of African Union was because of his trip to South Africa and to Nigeria. Those were just in Africa, and they gave Ruto serious political headache. What about Raila Odinga leaving the country, going to Chatham to issue a lecture about Kenyan election? What impact do you think it will have? Huge. So William Ruto will not want a situation where Raila Odinga will be able to go to the United States of America, give a lecture there, go to United Kingdom, meet parliamentarians there and explain to them the situation in the country. So he wants these countries to actually impose a ban or sanction on Raila Amolo Odinga. But why do I strongly believe that these sanctions are not going to succeed on Raila Amolo Odinga? That is actually the main objective of this video. So if you have watched this video up to this stage, please, in the comment section, just type present. Now let us proceed. Why do you think these sanctions are not going to succeed? For me, the sanctions against Raila Amolo Odinga, even if they were to be implemented, will not succeed. Because even today in Kitale, Raila Odinga has told the Western powers that he's not interested in going to their countries. So personally, I don't think these sanctions are going to succeed because, number one, the Western power themselves, the United States of America, the British government, and any other friendly Western nation would want Raila Odinga to play the role he's currently playing, because they also want to checkmate William Ruto. They can't just leave William Ruto like that. If you think the United States of America, even if they supported Ruto like that, they would just want Ruto to have his way. They won't. They'll want Raila Odinga to actually play the role and checkmate William Ruto. In fact, what the United States of America wants from Raila Odinga is simple. They want the office of the official opposition to be created so that the country can have a vibrant opposition in this country. That's why William Ruto has always been talking about the office of the official opposition. That is exactly what the Western powers want, so that he can use that office to tame or to checkmate Ruto, because they're not sure with Ruto. Ruto can go to China tomorrow, and that's something they would not want to happen. So that's important. Number two, why this plan by Ruto will not succeed. Mass action is actually entrenched in our constitution. So as much as William Ruto is saying that he was elected legally or validly, it's also within the same rule of law that grants Raila Odinga the powers to organize mass action legally. So countries like United Kingdom, USA would not want a situation where they are seen to be stopping Raila Odinga from organizing picketing. That would be against what they stand for. They stand for democracy. Raila Odinga understands this. William Ruto understands this. And because of the legality of this mass protest, as long as personal or private properties are not interfered with, as long as individuals' rights are not affected, I don't think they would want to interfere. Number three, it would also mean that these countries would be interfering with the internal affairs of a country. They will not, because if you look at the results of the last election, the country is divided. They understand that the country is divided, that despite the fact that they supported Ruto, Raila Odinga still got, was it 6.9 million votes, which is huge. So they can't ignore the 6.9 million votes which Raila Odinga actually got. And number four, these foreign powers would always want to be seen to be taking a neutral point. You see, what Chinese did, and this is why they managed to get into Africa, is that they developed an habit or attitude of non-interference with the local politics. Now, the moment the United States of America will impose sanctions against Raila Odinga for saying that the 2027 elections were stolen, it can't happen. They will be viewed as people who are taking sides. Because Raila Odinga is very clear on the three demands. One of them is that he wants the servers to be open. What is so difficult in the United States of America telling Ruto, let us have the servers open? How do you tell them that this guy is demanding for servers to be open, and therefore you should impose you should impose sanctions on him? It can't happen. And also I tend to think that the international community would always support democracy. And because they always perceived to be supporting democracy, they'll not want a situation where Raila Odinga is viewed as someone who has the support of the masses. Because when Raila Odinga will tell Kenyans to go to the street and a multitude will come, those are Kenyans. You can't stop Raila Odinga from asking his supporters to go to the street. Then you remove the sanction, which means Raila Odinga will now will be more energized to actually go ahead and organize some of these mass action. So for me, because Raila Odinga has the support of the masses, whether Ruto will succeed in persuading African Union the way he has done, whether he will be able to persuade the diplomats to impose taxes on Raila Odinga, as long as Raila Odinga has the masses, all those efforts will amount to zero. Because at his age, I don't think there's something which Raila Odinga is still looking for. And lastly, the Western powers are keen on keeping China away from Kenya, from South Africa, and from Nigeria. They are keen on those three countries. That's why they placed Ruto there. And because they are keen on keeping away China, when Raila Odinga will begin a fight with them, China will find a way of supporting Raila Odinga.
And that is something they would not really want to happen. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Thank you, guys. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.